Hi, this is Jay Norris, author of Mastering the Currency Market. Welcome to the report. Before we get to it, I need to point out that trading futures and forex is a risky endeavor and not suitable for all investors. The charts we're going to be looking at are real-time market snapshots and may not be replicated going forward. First market, the Australian US dollar. Aussie USD had a pretty good rally today. You're working your way up towards the top of this channel it's been in. Whoop, still got some lines left over from the workshop this weekend. Let me remove those. Well, there you go. You could see just kind of hanging in there. You know, it was interesting. We were looking at the futures chart for this guy, and let me show you that right now. And you actually had a well, didn't quite shift it yet, but you're real close to a shift on the directional line on the daily. So very close to a shift in that short-term trend higher on the daily. This is your Aussie futures chart, and it was interesting. The futures chart was actually showing uptick in momentum today too, compared to the cash was lagging a little bit. So who knows, maybe the futures giving a bit of a lead there. Generally they're going to be one and the same, but I just thought that was interesting that and you can see here's your cash where your MACD is still below zero there. So we'll have to keep an eye on that for you, but very close to taking that guy either way. So we'll definitely have to see. Monthly trend is up, and that's really what you want to keep an eye on. They can't break down the daily chart here. That level keeps holding. So we'll have to see. We'll bring it to you again tomorrow. Next market, the Euro US dollar. Okay, here she comes. You could see you did shift the daily on Friday, but it sure didn't mean much to the market. The market came roaring right back today. Overall, you look like you have the potential for a pretty big trading range here. Your weekly, the weekly trend is up. Your monthly's down. So you could see big swings either way, and we said that last week, and boy, wasn't that the case today. And Friday too, big swing down, big swing up. That's typical actually of counter trending behavior where market can't make up its mind, so it's just going to range back and forth. The British pound had a big up move today. I saw you'd already had a big move coming in here. Tokyo here, we're doing the show a little late. Tokyo's already open, and you can see you're already making a big move there. The market trying to extend that range on the upside. Let's take a look and see what that high, the previous high was 160.59, let's say 160.60. Current high 72. Markets right at the Jan high. So we'll see if this guy can extend that range on the upside. Boy, if it does, you get a close above 60, that will be significant. I tell you what, you're a long ways away from the close. How about like 21 hours away from closing this market? So it could be a completely different look when we come in tomorrow. Next market, dollar CAD. Dollar CAD. You had a pretty good size range today, but look at that. It closed right where it opened. So a bit of indecision. They couldn't press it really much beyond the par level, and now you're coming down lower today into the Tokyo session. So maintaining an uptrend, short-term trend up on both the daily and the weekly here yet. Another one where there's a lot of room to roam between that monthly and the weekly. So pretty big range. The chief now, dollar Swissy. Dollar Swissy kind of had a little late rally there. I had a lunch there. You're kind of looking the other way. The market made a lower low. It looked around. You couldn't find some support. You probably blew some stops down there. And then it turned around, closed all right, and gave you a hammer. Here, let me put the monthly pivots on here. Let's put some structure on the chart. Yeah, late in the day for me. There they are, pivots, monthly all. Oh, look at that. Yeah, we got the new pivots for February. Oh, look at that. Well, you're in no man's land between the pivots. So hard to say. But you had a hammer. You're trying to get above a trend line here. If you can pop this trend line and you get a short covering pop here, you're going to have a higher low in place. That could be significant. Last time you had a higher low, and our boy here, you had a pretty big run, didn't you? So let's watch that. Dollar yen next. Dollar yen. Well, dollar yen's holding that daily directional line, stubbornly holding the line. You're below the new pivots, though. The new pivot's same as the old pivot. Sounds like a Who song. So the pivots aren't moving much at all, at least on that central pivot, and you're stubbornly holding the directional line. Potentially another higher low here. Here's the higher low. Here's another higher low. So essentially, you're in a big box. You're in a box here, and that's that. I've been beating that same drum for a while. I've been saying, well, I think you're in the process of carving out a long-term bottom. That could take its time. That could be pretty boring, and I'll stick to it. U.S. stock market. Let's see if we can anticipate some 401k flows coming into the market, and that's I suspect why you had the big update today, big recovery rally today, because it's the last day of the month. Statistically, if you go back and you look at the first day of the month, go back on the chart. Well, here it bottomed on the first day of the month. Then it had a big update then, big update there. Big update there 2 days into the month, big update there first couple days in the month, and then here's a big update. If you see my point, the first of the month gives you good updates. That's because everyone gets paid at the end of the month, right around the end of the month, so the 401k money goes in on the first of the month, and that usually bodes well for stock indices. That bodes well for asset class markets. Essentially, your S&P 500 is really the driving force for these asset class markets now. So, you get a big update in stocks, and it's going to carry over into the other asset class markets. So, potentially that's something we would look at coming into tomorrow. Thank you very much. My name is Jay Norris. Look for my new book, Mastering Trade Selection and Management, in bookstores in the spring. And we'll be back with you all tomorrow.